There is an apocalypse hidden in pyramid. Primitive humans can see and attain the most faithful beliefs they believe in seeing, hearing and feeling. It is the earliest mutual trust that the patriarch led the people to obtain water and food. Push the objective feelings toward the subjective direction. Push the farther and more superstitious. The person being trusted has gained a certain initiative. And this power is limited by the time and space of rotation. There are different levels of blind zone for the people who believe in him. The water is so deep. The original relationship between leaders and believers is like a pyramid. The degree of belief is gradually stepping into the blind zone. At the beginning of the group beliefs on the isosceles line, they have the original judgment criteria, and retain the choice and influence on the vertices. However, with the advancement of history and the intergenerational change, the active advantage transmitted from the top down will make the isosceles line of the blind zone complex and undulating. So complicated, covering all the ancient and modern art of power. The alternation of life and instinctual desire are the source of power to vibrate the pyramid. At the beginning of life, the apex must be parents. After that, the apex of the group is the lord or hero. Facing the natural contradictions, relationship between the growth process will be projected behind the forces of nature to form the gods and God. The deeper blind zone and greater pressure, the higher spiritual omnipotent point will be believed. The point has no objective meaning, but the believers instinctively struggle for the top to pursue it. Like sand wind erosion buried pyramid, turned into a new dune. Life instinct face to interest and back on none. It tends to project the spiritual world in the way of sharp point, sun, and go straight, line. The deeper blind zone, the harder to contact contradictory cognition that contains like turns and shares, cross, even accepts and gives all, circle. The pyramid was promoted by the instinct sharps. Under the influence of internal and external contradictions, it was established in sun and line and will be destroyed by sun and line. Between construction and destruction there were more or less cross and circle intersection with nature, pointing to civilization. The growth process of the faith pyramid falls on the intersection of these cross and circle can bring maximum benefits, partially visible and partially invisible, to the whole group. The establishment of any faith begins with the visible and profitable benefits under the glory of the public, and the destruction begins with wanton behavior in the dark. If the line and cross relationship is excessively unbalanced, the sacred worldview of the apex projection is not destroyed in the fierce competition, sun, or will fritter away all lives into thick earth, circle. There is faith in life. When you are born to watch your parents or look up to the sun and believe that it is real. Faith is born of sensibility and restrained by reason. In a rational world, the seeds of faith are buried in all interpersonal relationships of trust. When encountering a tangible feeling about the irresistible fate of life, the seed will break through the rational trust relationship, instinctively projecting a super-spiritual existence. It can be behind the hero or be independent gods. The line from the parents to the hero points to the spirit of independent existence. Not everyone has the opportunity to see the hero. He only exists on the day when the pyramid was built. The man who stood up on the peak. It is not a feeling that can be felt in mediocre days. The shock that affects the sentiments of all beings is arranged along the steps of pyramid. The farther, sensual, people look up to him, the closer, rational, persons more understand his ordinary life used to be. The pyramid is not established in the air, but is built up in the strong resistance of the horizon. The confidants use trust in life to help the hero to make the pyramid break through the horizon to form a sharp point, sun, believed by all beings. The part between the apex and the earth is the intersection of sun and circle. If cut it, the heavens and the earth will be sacred divided. If circle it, the light of sharing will shine into the dark area. No matter which, the sun and line defects of life will quietly make contradictions turn to the intersection. The gods are not realistic, and the human are limited. Contradiction cannot be completely cut or perfectly circled. The pyramid of civilization must be based on universal perception. The scientific hypothesis can be called rationality by the logic or experimental perception of other scholars. Keeping the existence of free soul is the basis for obtaining rational perception. The intersection of rational relations is the faith of civilization, especially the group of people around the apex. Science is the intersection of rational beliefs and natural laws. Expanding and not indulging in this intersection can advance the ladder of civilization evolution. Indulging in the intersection of cross and circle will ignore the inherent sun and line defects of life nature. Scientific achievements are passive. It is subject to human initiative. It is not only unable to save the sun and line crisis of life's internal competition, but also to increase the control and destructive power in the future. Whether life body has the ability to resolve internal contradictions is a philosophical issue. The vague gods hidden in the horizon are enshrined by entropy and assimilated by abstruse water. Human should have faith. Not be far from the vague horizon between spirit and limited.